All right, we're back in session. We're talking about the election of treasurer. Thinking to myself, we wouldn't have this problem if one of you two guys was like Snidely Whiplash and just hated you. You remember Snidely Whiplash was always putting Nell on the tracks, and it'd be easy to vote with against one of you, but you're both qualified. You're both would make great treasurers. We have a tie, and that's what's taken so much time up, trying to figure out what that means. It presents two questions. Does the president vote on a ballot? And does the president intervene to change the vote? And we have a team of lawyers looking into those two questions, but we can't answer that right now with certainty. So I'm going to abstain. It'll remain a tie. That'll necessitate another vote tomorrow. And in that time, we will research. We will probably reach out to Parliamentarian Stevens, and will give me some advice as to what my authority is. And then we will vote tomorrow. And with any luck, one of you may change your mind, vote again, and maybe we won't have a tie.
Mr. President?
Parliamentarian or governor?
Governor.
Governor Stevens.
Yeah, I have just a general question or suggestion to also consider. And that is, I'd like you all to think about whether or not it is possible, and looking at these two gentlemen, that we could have co-treasurers. And I'm saying, think outside of the box. And so I would hope that would be at least explored as well.
Thank you, Governor Stevens. I think that's a good idea. Governor Clark, followed by Governor Grabicki.
Sure, Kyle, thank you. So if we have a vote tomorrow, what happens if there's governors who are here now who aren't here tomorrow, or there's ones who aren't here now who are there tomorrow?
Yeah.
They get to vote?
It's an unfortunate, well, they only get to vote if they're present, I would imagine.
Okay, so tomorrow, okay, all right. Sure.
Governor Grabicki.
That outcome doesn't seem fair to me. It seems like, to me, the best course of action would be for you not to abstain, but to say, we'll wait until tomorrow until we have a clear idea of what my authority is. And if your authority is to break the tie, then you break the tie. But to have another vote tomorrow where the people who voted today aren't there to vote tomorrow, and some who weren't there, that seems like the worst possible outcome.
I don't know how many people that affects. The way that you describe it, we lose some secrecy in a secret ballot. If we did it again tomorrow, we would maintain the secrecy of that vote.
No, what I would do is say, okay, we're at 6-6. You're going to find out from council what your authority is, assuming that your authority is to break the tie. You'll break the tie. If they tell you don't have the authority, then yeah, what you're talking about or what Alex is talking about works. But if you have the authority, that's the fairest and most straightforward way to proceed.
I suppose I could give that some thought and then decide whether I abstain tomorrow or we just proceed with the vote, and that would give me additional time to think about it. Governor Clark, you still have your hand up?
Yeah, I do. I would have to respectfully disagree with, that I think the BOG should pick. So that's my thoughts. Thank you.
Governor Clark, you're in favor of a second vote. That's what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Governor Stevens.
So the other question I have, and we'll have to look at our bylaws, and that is whether or not we have or have made provision for a coin toss. And I would just ask the general counsel to take a look at that.
A
Okay.
coin toss?
Yeah, and if the answer is no, the answer is no. But I know that's the way some decisions, some ties have been decided. So,
All right, we will throw that into the list of possibilities. General Counsel Shanklin, followed by Governor-elect Adewale.
Yeah, all I was going to say is literally the totality of what we have about the treasurer election is, what was read earlier. And there's nothing about, any details. The whole section about the elections by the Board of Governors specifically exempts the treasurer. So literally all it says is the treasurer will be elected by simple majority of governors voting. In the event there is more than one nomination, the vote will be by secret written ballot. And then the next section in the bylaws is all about election procedure, but it's all of them except for the position of treasurer. So it's a little bit difficult. The bylaws are not entirely helpful. And then the one other piece of information that I will provide for you now, just a little bit of explanation about what we're looking at. The bylaws say that the president may vote if the president's vote will affect the result. So Robert's rules specifically says that the vote will affect the result means when there is a tie on a vote not by ballot and requiring a majority, the president may vote in the affirmative to cause the motion to prevail. That's one. Two, if there's one more vote in the affirmative than the negative, the president can create a tie by voting in the negative and cause the motion to fail. If it's a 2/3 vote that's required, he or she may vote either to cause or block attainment of the necessary 2/3. But that doesn't really answer the question. So because it says, not by ballot, one of the things we're researching is, should that cause us to believe that the president can always vote on a ballot because it's not a motion where the president is chairing the meeting? So we're looking into that. And then we're also trying to just make sure that we're clear, right? Our bylaws say the president may vote only if the president's vote will affect the result. There's nothing specific in the bylaws differentiating any kind of, one vote from another, a ballot from a vote. There is some language in Robert's rules that says votes by ballot are the same as any other vote. But we want to be right and we want to be thorough. So I really apologize for the amount of time this has taken, but we are trying our best to just sort through and get an answer.
Mr. President, may I chime in?
Mr. President. Mr. President, Governor-elect Adewale has requested to speak.
Do I have the permission?
We can't hear the president, but I think I see him nodding.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. What I was saying is that I'm going to allow Governor-elect Adewale to speak, But we are about an hour away from our discussion with the Idaho State Bar Board of Commissioners, and we do not want to delay that. So we've got lots of things to talk in between now and then. So I would ask you, Governor-elect Adewale, to be brief and succinct.
I'll try my best. I just wanted to encourage this board to not let this issue affect some other issues on agenda tomorrow. From the discussion today, we have already deferred some discussions from very profound discussions we need to have to tomorrow. Those issues should not be continued because we couldn't get a consensus on the treasurer election. I would rather the treasurer election, if the president could not cast a vote on this ballot today. I agree with PJ. If the president could not cast the deciding ballot today, then it should be tabled at another meeting where it is set on the agenda. I'm encouraging the board not to continue to allow this. What happened if the vote is still tied tomorrow? Give it some time for people to think about this and set it on another agenda tomorrow. So I just want to encourage the board. I agree with PJ. The right decision is for the president. If the president has the power to cast the deciding vote, if not, then set it on the next meeting. I want to find out, for instance, from Treasurer Dan Clark, are there anything that will break or damage if we don't have a treasurer installed in this position in the between now and the next month?
Governor Clark will continue to serve as treasurer up until September, I believe. And then the new treasurer will be sworn in. So we have some time. However, if we can figure out a course of action by tomorrow, I'm inclined to move forward and just not continue this. But I'm going to think about it. Governor Clark.
Mr. President.
So what I would say to that is historically we do these last month, and with this this new meeting today, we're doing it now. It would be good to pick somebody to have time to when we switch for for them to see see us do the other stuff right now for next year. So I'm just hoping they shadow, for the next month. So
I appreciate that. Thank you, Governor Clark.